What's up, Mecha fans, and welcome back to the channel. So today we are once again talking about Gundam SEED Stargazer. This may be the last video, at least for now, that I do plan on making on this OVA, and today we're going to be ranking every single mobile suit that appears in the OVA in a tier list. Before I dive into it though, I want to hear from you guys, so head on down to the comment section below and let me know your favourite and least favourite mobile suit from this OVA. And while you're there, please do leave a like on this video and subscribe if you are a fan of mecha anime content and want to see plenty more videos like this in the future. So we've got the tier list up here, and as per usual, we've got S, A, B, C, and D tier. So let us dive straight into it. Kicking things off with the Blue Jewel Gundam, a variant of the Jewel Gundam, which is already a great mobile suit, and this one is just made even better. And it also does have one of the most brutal death scenes, in my opinion, within the SEED franchise. I'm actually going to go, for now, I'm going to put it in A, but it might move down. It might move down to B depending on how things go, but if it stays in A, it's going to stay right at the bottom. Next up, we've got the Civilian Astray DSSD Custom. This is the scientists space station thing that they've got, where they've essentially got like civilian ashtrays, if you will, presumably to travel around the outside and stuff like that. Now the Astray is of course a fantastic design, one of the all-time greats within the SEED franchise. I gotta be honest, this is one of my favorite versions of that, mainly because I like that they've always given the Astray a spacesuit. It's like a very unique kind of thing to do because, a Gundam suit generally, like a mobile suit, is able to travel out in space. It doesn't need any sort of gear on it to make sure that it can survive in space. But they've almost kind of made this a bit more human, where they've given it like a space helmet. They've given it a little bit of a space suit. It is basically just the Astray but with a helmet on, so it's not the most unique and exciting thing ever. And it's not really used a hell of a lot in this OVA, but I just think that helmet design and just the addition of the helmet is just a really cool and nice addition. We're going to put it nicely, very comfortably in B. Next up, we got the Gazoot, which is in the first kind of opening sequence. It's the mobile suit that ends up attacking the whole city and all that kind of stuff. I did talk about this one in the Destiny mobile suit tier list. It is great for what it is. It's this big heavy weaponry, heavy machinery kind of thing, and yeah, I like it very much for that reason. But I think in comparison to a lot of the other suits that we've got, I'm going to put it in C for this case. Next up, we got the Gin Insurgent type. This is just a Gin but in like a dark green color scheme, which is never really my personal preference for a color scheme. It's always just a bit boring to me. It's going to go in D. It's not a horrible suit, but I mean, you look at all the suits that we've got here, there are a lot of really good suits in Stargazer. This one, the Gin Insurgent type, is simply the worst of them all. Next up, then, we've got the Kerberos Buku Hound. I think is one of my favorite designs of the kind of Buku designs. I think that's what they're called as almost like a grouping, because of course you've got the Legao, you've got the whatever the other one is, but this one is kind of the most normal looking one, if you will, because the Legao's bright orange. I think the other one is maybe quite a light purple color or something. This one is just black with elements of purple and red, and I think it very much fits the tone of Stargazer, but also it feels a bit more military in comparison to some of the other hounds. I'm pretty comfortably going to put it in B. I'm going to put it behind the Astray though. It is utilized pretty well, but I just like the Astray design just a tiny bit more. Next up, we got the Slaughter Dagger. Of course, this is used in that sequence in the camp where it's essentially a massacre. I think this goes very nicely alongside the Strike Noir, which we will talk about soon. And I just think it's, just a solid looking grunt suit. So I'm going to go once again in B. I think I'm going to put it in front of the Astray though. That black-red kind of color scheme, it always just works. And it always looks great, especially when you're trying to create something that's intimidating. I think it works very, very well. Next up though, we've got the Stargazer Gundam, which is of course what this OVA is titled after. Now this to me feels like the precursor to what we have with the Caliban, where it's all white, which I guess you also have the Unicorn and Narrative, which are also all white, but when I look at the Stargazer, the closest comparison I can think to it is the Caliban, which is a fantastic suit, one of my favorites in Witch from Mercury. I think the Stargazer is great. Really have no complaints with it. I mean, you could say the big circle thing's a bit odd, but I feel like it kind of works. And of course, it is a major part of what makes the suit do what it can do. So I'm putting it in S tier. There's some really, really great suits within this OVA, and this is one of the top ones in my opinion. Next up there, we got the Strike Noir. I've never been the hugest fan of the Strike as a suit. I think it's okay. But you know, when it comes to like main protagonist, kind of like the original protagonist Gundams, the Strike's certainly not my favorite. But the Strike Noir, I think it looks really great. It just kind of adds a lot more onto it. It's a bit like bulkier. It's much more like the Freedom than the Strike, in my opinion. I guess it's probably a lot more like the Strike Freedom in a way. But yeah, the Strike Noir color scheme's fantastic. Of course, used by the most interesting character in Stargazer, used in some great scenes as well. And I just think this looks great. I really hope that they make either a real grade version of this, or they make a high grade Cosmic Era version of it. Like, I want an updated Gunpla kit of this, because I don't want to get that original Gundam SEED Gundam kit, because I don't think it's particularly great. And then the Master Grade doesn't really fit in with all the other stuff that I've got. Enough about the Gunpla. This is probably my favorite suit within this OVA, and one of my favorites within the SEED franchise. So of course, it goes right at the top of S tier. That black suit design, you cannot go wrong with it. Last but certainly not least, though, we've got the Verde Buster. The Buster is one of my personal favorite suit designs in Gundam SEED, and this is almost like the upgraded, bulkier version of that. I love the color scheme of the Buster Gundam, that green, red, a little bit of cream in there. It's just unique color scheme that you don't really see on a mobile suit in Gundam, like as a franchise in general. There's not really any that I can think of that have this specific color scheme, and that's why it just kind of stands out to me. I just do really like it. But like I said, this just adds so much more onto it, but also doesn't make it feel overstuffed. So for me, comfortably goes right at the top of A, and I'm actually pretty comfortable with this tier list. 2 in S, we've got 2 in A, we've got 3 in B, 1 in C, and 1 in D. Pretty well represents Stargazer, because this OVA features some fantastic designs and some of the best in the SEED franchise. But there we have it. That is my mobile suit tier list for Gundam SEED Stargazer. Before I get out of here, please do leave a like on this video. Also subscribe if you're a fan of mecha anime content and want to see plenty more videos like this in the future. And as I said earlier, head on down to the comment section below, because I want to hear from you guys and what your favourite mobile suit is from Gundam SEED Stargazer. Thank you once again for tuning into Mecha Chat today, and I'll see you guys next time.